What's up guys, this is Teddy Smith, real estate agent here in Wilmington, North Carolina. In this video I'm going to be talking about the home buying process explained simply and the stages of a real estate deal. So if you're watching this video right now, you are probably in the first stage of home purchasing, and that is going to be the research phase. It's actually one of the most important parts. I always tell people before you actually go out and you start looking at houses, you kind of want to do your research, and there's many ways to go about this. So during this phase, I always recommend that people search places like YouTube, blogs, and Zillow. Zillow is a great place to start your home search process, and I always encourage a little bit of self-reflection. Ask yourself, what do you want in a home? What are your wants and your needs and your desires in a house? So unless you plan on buying a property with cash, which is absolutely possible, you want to start talking with a lender, and a lender is going to be a very valuable resource in the home buying process. So there are all different types of lenders. The most common lender that you're going to find is lenders that you see down at your local bank like Wells Fargo. There are companies that specialize in loans like Quicken Loans and Guaranteed Rate. And then you even have people called private lenders that operate outside of institutions. And before anything, lenders are going to kind of gauge your financial health. They're going to look at your income, your expenses, and they're going to use that to perform what's called a debt to income ratio so that you can get pre-qualified to buy a house, which is a fancy little certificate saying that you can afford between this much money and this much money. And if you're a first-time home buyer, you're probably going to qualify for government subsidized loans like an FHA loan, if you're military, a VA loan, or if you live in rural areas, a USDA loan. And all of these are going to be very low rate and require a lower down payment. And if you don't feel like talking to a lender and you just want to see how much you can afford online, there's tons of little online tools to do this for you. But I will be honest with you, a lender is going to be very specialized and get the job done a lot quicker. Luckily for people who are buying real estate, a real estate agent is going to be 100% free. It's going to be a licensed professional that's going to help you navigate the complex process of buying a piece of real estate. You just have to incur the closing cost associated with the home. A good agent will tell you the true pros and cons of each piece of real estate that you're looking at and will be frank and honest with you. So if you find something that is very low price, they'll tell you it needs repairs. Not only that, but they're responsive. They pick up the phone and they can identify your specific needs and wants as a buyer. And step number 4 is you're going to go house hunting, and this is what you see on TV, and it's relatively self-explanatory. And here are some easy tips to make your house hunting a lot faster and more efficient. The first one is pick around 10 to 15 houses to tour. Don't pick too little and don't pick too many because you may overwhelm yourself. Out of all those, pick the top 2 to 3 and really spend a lot of time at your top 2 to 3 favorite houses. And here are the most common reasons why I see people that are unhappy with their purchase. And the first one is going to be a bad location. The second is going to be bad neighbors. And the third and the biggest, and this is one people don't talk about a lot, is they overbuy and they have mortgage payments that stress them out and make them have buyer's remorse. So after you've completed all the previous steps and you found the perfect house, this is when things get real, and this is when you're actually going to submit an offer and all the other necessary paperwork to make the deal happen. Now, obviously, there's other parts to submitting an offer, but the offer to purchase is going to outline, number 1, the price that you want to pay for the property, the terms, and you also need to realize that an offer is a contract. So once you sign it and the other party signs it, it's a binding legal agreement. And just to elaborate on the terms of a real estate offer to purchase, it's going to include the dates for the closing and the due diligence. It's going to also outline who's going to pay what expenses in the contract. And another one is how much deposit are you going to have to put down in order to purchase this. So if you don't know what a closing and a due diligence date is, the closing date is when you pretty much become the new owner of the property, and the due diligence date is the date that you can walk away from a real estate deal for any or no reason. You can literally just bail on the contract. So once the offer is submitted and the seller agrees to your terms and price, the contract is signed, you have a legally binding document, and there are a few more steps that occur between the signing of this document and the actual closing and you getting to move in. So after the contract is signed, that's when you get a home inspector to go inside the property and find issues. And almost all homes, even new construction homes, are going to have some issues. Some will be minor, some could be totally catastrophic, but the key point here is you want to negotiate off of these issues. So during the second round of negotiations, it can be the seller's obligation to fix these issues that have been found during the home inspection. And if they don't, you can walk away during the due diligence period, but you have to remember it's a two-way street, and if your negotiations are unrealistic, the seller's not going to agree. So after that, the seller is presumably going to fix these issues. An appraisal is going to be performed so that the lender is certain that the property is worth what you are paying for it. The loan goes into underwriting and hopefully is approved. And this leads us to the next stage, which is closing, the moment that we've all been waiting for. And in real estate, closing is slang for when the property actually changes hands. And during this, a few things are going to happen. Number one, the funds are going to be dispersed. The seller is going to get his money. The deed is going to be signed and stored in the county clerk of courts for official records. And once again, you are going to be the brand new owner of a house and you can move in. Anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to hit that like button, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and check out the rest of the videos on my YouTube channel because I have tons of entertaining and informative content. And as always, thank you for watching.